China before Shi Huangdi was chaotic. 7 nations were fighting to be the #1 successor for 3 centuries now. It was as if there wasn't going to be a conclusive winner at all, it seemed. That was until a 13-year-old became the leader of the Qin, whilst in the midst of certain death. That was Shi Huangdi. Although not very much is known what Shi Huangdi's childhood was like, however, what we do know is that he was born as the son of Zhuangzi, a powerful and former leader of the Qin, and his mother was a former concubine of some rich merchant named Liu Blei. His dad ruled for a very short 3 years. By 13 years old, he had already ascended to the throne. The Qin were already doing well even before he became emperor, so he had a much easier time setting up his military and his government to a system called legalism, which will be explained later on. Now that he has his military ready, he spent the next few years invading and conquering the other dynasties until his was the last one standing. Shi Huangdi had now done it. He has conquered China, he controls the people of China, and has now become China's first emperor, which means Shi Huangdi in Chinese. Yes, his name isn't actually Shi Huangdi, but rather Zhao Zhen. That was pretty much it for his childhood, but now we can move into the next segment of this video, which is... One of Shi Huangdi's first courses of action was to move the capital of China to a new location. He put it in Shenyang, which is 600 miles away from China's modern-day capital, Beijing. He then proceeded to divide his dynasty into 36 separate provinces with local officials he handpicked himself. He then also moved 1,000 of China's most powerful families into the capital, just to keep an eye on them. You might be thinking, why would he want to move a bunch of powerful people into his capital? Is he paranoid about something? And I would say you're right. But we will get into that later. But I think it's important to first explain Shi Huangdi's way of government real quick. A basic explanation of legalism would be a philosophy in which you are needed to follow strict laws enforced by a very strict leader to keep the population in check. And if they break those laws, they get severely punished. If they follow them, they could be rewarded with something. This is what Shi Huangdi believed would keep his empire together, and it worked for a while. However, he was not so much of a fan on another philosophy called Confucianism. Confucianism is a belief that focuses more on morality and personal ethics rather than lawfulness and obedience. When he was able to get his hands on Confucian scholars and their books, he burned all the books and buried the scholars alive. All of this was done not only because he disliked Confucianism, but he was very paranoid about what they would do and what they thought of him. When he wasn't punishing people for breaking laws, he would be bringing order to China as he changed and standardized many things that previous states didn't follow through with. He brought a single unit of measurement and currency to the dynasty, as well as a single writing system also. Shi Huangdi would also go ahead and build one of humanity's largest structures to ever be built, the Great Wall of China. Shi Huangdi was concerned about his dynasty's northern border, as it was undefended from nomads and tribes at the time. To build his giant wall, he got conscripts and convicts to build it for him. Keep in mind that they were forced to do this. The wall was effective to an extent, managing to keep out small-scale attacks, but only one person managed to break through his wall, and that was Genghis Khan, the leader of the Mongol Empire. Although the wall was good at holding off tribes and other small forces, it did not succeed in holding against large-scale attacks and armies and failed in the process of holding them off.